Martell is basically daring them to take him to court, but then he also throws shade by saying what would they even get if they sued him because he doesn't have anything to give. That's Martell's way of calling them out while also trying to show that he's not scared. But does this sound like confidence? Or does it sound like a man under pressure who doesn't know how to stop himself? Comment your thoughts, because this is where things start looking messy. When Maurice sat down with Martell, you could already see that this conversation wasn't going to be smooth. Martell said he already knew Maurice wanted to talk about the Vegas trip and the interview Martell did with Arian. You could tell Martell was waiting for this conversation. He even said he was anticipating it. But what shocked people is how Martell tried to switch the story and say that he was ready to take his relationship with Arian seriously now. He started talking about marriage and long-term goals. But nobody believed him. Even fans were saying that Martell only brings up serious talk about Arian when he's trying to shift attention away from his own drama. What do you think? Do you believe Martell really wants to marry Coleslaw? Or is this just another storyline for the cameras? Maurice tried to step into that big brother role he always does. He told Martell that he's been playing the villain for so long that he's become the villain. But Martell didn't take that lightly. He feels like he's only been defending himself after years of being attacked by the cast. He said he never wanted to expose people, but when Marceau and Maurice kept coming for him, he felt like he had no choice. And this is where things take a darker turn, because Martell admitted that he brought Arian into the spotlight as a way to fight back. He didn't do it because he wanted to. He said he did it because Marceau and Maurice wouldn't stop lying on him. Now, does that sound like a man protecting himself, or a man desperate to hurt others because he feels hurt? That's the question fans are asking. Kimmy Scott, of course, has been right there with Maurice, and together they act like Martell is just going off the deep end. But let's be real. At one point, Martell was considered a good guy by the Scotts. They only started saying he was crazy after he exposed Maurice and Marceau. When Martell wasn't talking about them, they didn't have a problem with him. But now that he's putting their business out there, suddenly he's the villain. Could it be that Maurice and Kimmy are more worried about what Martell knows than about his behavior? That's something we need to think about. Martell went further and said that he expected Maurice to stand up for him when Melody Shari accused him of being convicted of a crime during the reunion. He was upset that Maurice just sat there and didn't defend him. But honestly, what did Martell expect Maurice to say? It wasn't his place to jump in, and it definitely wasn't his job to try to clear Martell's name. This part makes people wonder if Martell is so lost in his own world that he doesn't even realize how unreasonable he sounds. Telling Maurice he should have defended him when Melody called him out just seems strange. But then again, Martell always expects loyalty from people he rarely gives loyalty to. Stick around because this whole thing only gets more wild the deeper we go. Another shocking part is that Martell said he wanted an apology from Marceau and Tisha Scott for calling him gay and for saying that Arian was a pass-around. He said that if they had just called him and apologized, he wouldn't have put out the interview with Arian or started exposing things. But they didn't call, and he took that as a sign that they didn't care about how much they were hurting him. So Martell did what he always does. He went on the attack. And now, instead of apologizing, the Scotts are acting like Martell is just unhinged. But do you see the pattern? Martell always says he doesn't want to do something messy, but then he turns around and does it anyway. Marceau, of course, has been trying to downplay all of this. He acts like Martell's comments don't matter, but fans know Marceau is bothered. Every time Martell hints that he has more dirt on him, Marceau starts acting defensive, and Tisha, as usual, is caught in the middle. She's defending her husband, but also lashing out at anyone who brings up these rumors. And let's not forget that Martell said there's allegedly a tape involving Arian. Whether that's true or not, it's one of those things that keeps hanging in the background, making everyone nervous. At this point, Martell seems more and more unstable. Even his body language and tone of voice show that he's stressed out. Some fans believe he's actually cracking under the pressure of losing Melody, losing his marriage, and now being isolated from the group. Others believe this is just who Martell has always been, and now people are finally seeing it. Either way, the way he keeps saying, "Stop coming for me," while also making threats, shows he's not letting this go anytime soon. Maurice tried to give Martell advice, saying that he doesn't have to engage in negativity and that he could just walk away. But Martell made it clear that he's done walking away. He feels like for too long, people got away with lying on him, and now he's ready to take everyone down with him if he has to. That's a dangerous mindset, and it shows why fans are so divided. Some are actually rooting for Martell to expose more of the Scots' secrets, while others think Martell has already gone too far and needs to step back before he ruins himself. Completely. The saddest part of all this is that Melody Shari is still connected to Martell because of their kids. She's been moving forward with her life, focusing on her career and her family, but Martell keeps dragging himself into more chaos. Even at reunions, Melody has had to deal with Martell's outbursts. It's clear she wants no part of his mess anymore, but because of their history, she can't fully escape it. Fans often say that Melody dodged a bullet by leaving him, and watching his recent behavior just proves that point. But here's the real question. Are we watching Martell spiral in real time, or is he just putting on a show for attention? He says he's serious about Arian now, but nobody believes that. He says he doesn't want to hurt anyone, but then he does the complete opposite. He says he's tired of the lies, but he's always caught up in some new drama. It feels like Martell is stuck in a cycle he doesn't know how to break. And while Maurice, Marceau, Kimmy, and Tisha are all trying to play it cool, you can tell that deep down, they're worried about what Martell might reveal next. So where does this leave us? Martell is daring the Scots to sue him. He's threatening to expose more secrets. He's asking for apologies he'll probably never get. And at the same time, he's trying to convince people that he's in a good place and ready for love again. It's confusing, it's dramatic, and honestly, it's sad. But one thing's for sure, this story isn't ending anytime soon. If Martell really keeps going lower and lower like he says, then the Scots better be ready because he's not letting up. What do you think? Is Martell just defending himself? Or has he completely lost it? Do you believe he really wants to marry Arian? Or is that just another storyline? And most importantly, do you think Maurice, Marceau, Kimmy, and Tisha are really worried about what Martell might say next? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this conversation is far from over. And make sure you watch this video until the end because there's so much more to unpack with this cast. The tension between Martell, Maurice, Marceau, Kimmy, Tisha, and even Melody is reaching a breaking point, and you won't want to miss what happens next. Martell also keeps bringing up how he feels betrayed by the people he once called brothers. He says that Maurice and Marceau should have been the ones standing beside him instead of letting him